Hey YA nerds, it's Kaye here with another book review from Kaye Reads a Lot. As you guys know, we are still in quarantine, woohoo, and I have a lot of books that I have to read. But I also have a lot of books that I have been reading. This channel took a break for like a year and a half, and I didn't stop reading in that year and a half. I just got way too busy to keep up with the channel. I'm filming this behind a yellow wall because yellow is my favorite color, and I figured it's better than hanging a sheet up behind my chair. And today we are going to talk about The Wicker King by Kaye Ancrum. Oh, that's shiny. So this book came out in 2017. It's 305 pages, and it is published by somebody, I'm sorry, it was written by somebody who shares a name with me and goes by Kaye, just like I do. So I was immediately drawn to this book. First of all, the cover is gorgeous. Yes, it's reflective, but it's got all this beautiful like gold and black going on. You can kind of like see the two main characters here, August and Jack. It's just a very interesting, beautifully made book. I heard about this book when I worked at the bookstore. I think I put it on a table and was like, that is a gorgeous cover. It caught my attention. And my theory has always been, like, you can judge a book by its cover. You should judge a book by its cover. A lot of attention to detail is paid to book covers for a reason. They want to catch your attention. They want you to pick them up and look at them and buy them. That being said, you should still read the inside cover to see what the book is about, because you never know. And yeah, so the cool thing about this book, again, I saw it on a table at a bookstore and was like, wow, pretty. And then I read it digitally. And I think that was the biggest mistake I could have ever made with this book. Because if you look on the side here, you could see a gradation in the pages. And as the book goes on in the story, you could see the pages change. And things get darker until the pages are black. And I don't know, this is like the coolest thing I think I've ever seen. So I highly recommend it just for that. I think it's really cool, but we should talk about the book. So The Wicker King is about Jack and August, who are unlikely best friends. One of them is a jock and the other one is a weirdo. And one day, Jack begins to have these vivid hallucinations of this other world that's being pasted on top of his world. And August doesn't know what to do about it except to believe him. He believes that this other world exists because Jack tells him to. And Jack tells him that that August is the only one who can save Jack and Jack's world from being destroyed. And as the book goes further in, and again the gradation happens, you see how much they're both pulled into this fantasy. And it is so intricately written and interestingly written. And I've never read a book like this before, where both characters are very, what is the word I'm looking for? Codependent on each other, but there's also like this underlying level of like love and trust with the two of them. It is a queer book. It goes there. It's been confirmed by the author, who I adore. Oh my god, thank you, Kaye Ancrum. This is such a great book. But so as the story unfolds, you see more of this world overlapping with our world, their world. You see more of their codependency and how it deepens, and like their feelings for each other and how they flourish, how they come about. They draw other people into their hallucination, their delusion of this world, and it's just crazy. So for the tropes of this book, I didn't have a lot, and I'm actually writing them on index cards now because it's just so much easier than hiding another computer screen off camera and then looking at it and looking back at you guys. And I am filming this on my phone right now because my camcorder sucks. I thought I had it fixed, and then last week when I was editing the video, not that you need to hear this in the middle of my review, but I was editing a video and it just kept, I think the file size is weird. It doesn't matter. The tropes for this. We have wrecking ball endings, love triangles, but with a twist, broken family units, beautiful first lines, and only one friend in this world. And last week I tried to overlay the text on the video and it didn't work. I'm also using a new video editing software, so I'm just going to put the descriptions to them down below like I always do, and you guys can just scroll down and look at them there. If you guys think of any other tropes that this book falls into, if you've read it, which you should read it, let me know in the comments and we can talk about it. So for readalikes, I again pulled 2 from Novelist and 2 from Goodreads. Novelist seemed to give me readalikes that were more true to this book, I feel like, because this book does deal with like mental illness, but also LGBTQ representation and friendship, strong, crazy friendship. Crazy is not the right word, but like strong, unbreakable friendship. And I think Novelist kind of nailed that better in their recommendations, whereas Goodreads just gave me a bunch of books with queer characters in it, which, cool, man, that's great, but it's not really what this book is about. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's more layered than that. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna get readalikes, to try out a website like Novelist. Goodreads is great, I'm not like dissing them, but sometimes they just miss the mark a little bit. So Novelist gave me Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman, which is on my TBR list, and I think I own a copy. I do own a copy, I see it on my bookshelf. So I own a copy, I will probably be reviewing it soonish. Also The Bone Gap by Laura Ruby, which is another book I also read. It's also got magical realism. I forgot to mention that the Wicker King has magical realism, sorry. But The Bone Gap is a crazy, amazing book, and it won the Prince Award a couple of years ago, which is a big deal. Highly recommend The Bone Gap. It's such an interesting book, and it also deals with the main character that also has a mental illness of some kind. As for Goodreads, they gave me You Asked for Perfect by Laura Silverman. I haven't read this book, but the cover is really pretty. It's like a white cover with like pencil illustrations around it, and it's got a young boy's face drawn up like towards the bottom third, and his face is like erased out, and I don't know, it drew me in. And also The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried by Sean David Hutchinson. I have also read that book. I may also review that book. That book is amazing. A lot of books I read are amazing. It's a thing. I just read amazing books. I don't know what to tell you. Highly recommend anything by Sean David Hutchinson. He is fantastic. Rating for this book is of course a 10 out of 10 because I can't give books less than that unless I truly hate them. And like I just said, I read amazing books. I really haven't hated a book I've read in a while. That's not true. I'm reading one right now that I'm not really thrilled with, but my theory is if you hate a book at 50 pages, you're going to hate the book at 100 pages, so why bother? This book is really interesting. It does a lot of different things that I haven't really seen in YA fiction until very recently, like talking about mental illness and talking about, you know, queer relationships that don't necessarily fit into a box like a lot of other queer relationships do. I do like that the author is really active on Goodreads and she'll answer questions. She's also really active on Twitter. I may be following her on Twitter already. So I hope she likes this review. I hope you guys all like this review. If you have any comments about the book, if you've read this book or any of the readalikes, let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for book recommendations, please tell me. I am really good at giving book recommendations, and I have no problem looking for some books for somebody who really wants to read right now. And I guess that's just it for this book. Again, go pick up The Wicker King. It's really good. And catch you later, YA nerds.